We're gonna dive deep into the best core exercises that you can use for swimming, and we're gonna start right now. What's up everybody, it's Dane Miller from GarageStrength.com, and if this is your first time to the channel and you're interested in becoming a better athlete, you want to be more explosive, you want to get stronger, you want to be more coordinated, make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you ring that notification bell so we can help you become a champion. So in the sport of swimming, we know that the core plays a tremendous role in our posture in the pool. We know that core strength and core stability can go a very long way as far as improving contralateral patterning. And this is really, really important to understand from a bigger picture when we're dealing with swimming specifically. We've got to understand which exercises are going to improve which core functions when we're talking about different strokes. And so if we've got a swimmer who's more into backstroke and freestyle, they're going to be the athletes that have to have core stability that's going to help them with that longer access. If we've got swimmers that are a little more involved with breaststroke and butterfly, there's going to be a little bit more undulation, and that's where there's a couple key factors that we've got to understand, the three facets behind core stability and its direct impact on stroke. So we know that first key aspect is that the trunk and the core stability is going to improve direction of swimming specifically. If we're going to be in the pool and we have no dynamic trunk control, we're going to be rotating all over the pool and we're going to lose that symmetrical direction. On top of that, we also know that it can contribute in a controlled manner to rotation. So as that trunk rotates, it's actually going to help lengthen our stroke. It's going to help provide that base, and that's that third key aspect, is during the rotation and during that longer stroke length, now we have a base that can help us apply energy from our kick all the way up through our abs and then into our hands as we're pulling through the water. We're going to provide those 4 key ab exercises that you can utilize to increase your core stability and have that dynamic trunk control. That first key exercise I refer to as ironclad abs. And so one of the biggest factors that I see with swimmers is when they're doing ab exercises, they're often super extended in their lumbar spine. And I think that that leads to poor undulation when they're actually in the pool. They don't have good posture, they don't hold themselves well, and their transfer of energy is negligible. So we've got to analyze when we're doing the ironclad abs, we really want to focus on pushing our belly button down into that bench. We want to focus on lumbar flexion because that's going to help tremendously increase the awareness in our trunk. And because we're doing this with a loaded dumbbell in our feet, now we're going to feel that long cycle, and that's going to carry over very well to the butterfly. It's also going to carry over very well to the freestyle, but it's an exercise that we've got to utilize while focusing on lumbar flexion, and I recommend doing anywhere from 3 to 4 sets for 15 reps. That second key exercise is going to be sliding planks. And again, I like to use a little bit more dynamic trunk work when we're talking about swimming based core training. And here with the sliding planks, what I love to utilize with the sliding planks is the fact that you're actually triggering your lats quite a bit. And while you're triggering your lats, you should be holding lumbar flexion. And on top of that, you've got to be in that rigid position with your feet. We're going to have our feet on furniture sliders and we're going to be sliding back and forth, and we want to make sure that we feel the base that our trunk is going to be providing, and that's going to help us slide back and forth while holding that strong posture. And this is going to carry over very well to all 4 of the strokes in the pool. And on top of that, I would recommend doing anywhere from 3 sets of 20 reps to 4 sets of 17 reps. That third key exercise that I think is pretty creative because it can help improve from that long access, it can help improve rotational strength as well in the pool, and I refer to these as Dane's fast abs. I know it's named after me, but I had been playing around with this exercise for quite a while, and the reason why I love this movement is because you're teaching your trunk how to engage and absorb a tremendous amount of force. And one of the factors that we oftentimes forget is we'll train our abs through very slow movements, very long and slow movements, which is fine. It benefits quite well from that because they're more slower twitch. But in swimming, it's a violent movement. Butterflies, violent. All these movements are very rapid when you're in the pool. So you've got to learn how to absorb and utilize that trunk stability. So when we're rotating and when we're coming down with the plate from that head-on position, we've got to absorb that force. We've got to move as rapidly as possible and then squeeze isometrically while attempting to hold that lumbar flexion. And if we can do this over and over again, now this is going to carry over quite well when we are trying to lengthen our stroke through that trunk rotation. This is a movement that I recommend doing 3 to 4 sets for 7 on each position. Before we get into that final exercise, if you want help with your swimming-based training, you can head over to garagestrength.com. You can click on the link down below, and I can design a custom-based strength program designed specifically to improve your swimming output. Finally, my favorite exercise for all swimmers to do, and I believe they should do this on a regular basis, is a movement that I call the walrus. And what this movement does is it puts you into a very dynamic plank position. Again, we've got to talk about what is our lumbar spine doing. We should be as flexed as we possibly can. We don't want our butt super high. We want to be in a strong plank position with our belly button pushing up to the sky. So we don't want our hips sinking too low. Think about when you're in the pool. You don't want your hips super low in the pool. You want them a little bit higher in line with your trunk. That's where the walrus comes into play. I also want everybody to focus on, we want our hands with our thumbs facing in. We don't want to cheat and put our thumbs out, because oftentimes when that happens, we lose that rigidity, and now all of a sudden our hips start to sink as well. So we want those thumbs facing in, and we're going to be crawling forward, so a dynamic plank position. Our feet are going to be on those furniture sliders, and we want as minimal movement in our feet as possible. That's going to help us with trunk direction, okay? So if we can remember back to trunk direction, that trunk provides a nice base. It also helps with rotation. This is where the walrus is going to be training all 3 of those key aspects behind dynamic trunk control. I recommend doing 15 to 20 meters with the walrus, and you're even going to feel this in your lats and your shoulders, and you're going to get a nice burn in that ab area, and it's going to carry over tremendously well to the pool. So if you want more information or more training about swimmers, you can click on the link down below and you can pick up a custom-based program to help you in the pool. If you want more videos about swimming-based training, you can click on this card right here. Until next time, guys, peace.